Hey everybody, welcome to our monthly leadership. We are getting everything together here, but I'm starting just a few minutes late. Hero. Starting a few minutes late, but I think what I'm going to do starting next month is I'm going to reset up this reoccurring meeting because it's kind of falling on different dates. So I need to plan it better so that way you guys are all on the same page and we're all together. So if you guys are watching the replay, #replay. I opened my with box today, so I still have like all the contents here scattered on my desk. And y'all, I just gotta say, cozy cardigan. Oh my goodness. Okay, I'd ordered one, obviously for myself, and then of course I got the with box, and the with box had one. So that just means guess who gets to make samples? That's right. All right, so I'm super excited about that. Oh my goodness. When it comes to the point, shoot, I'm dropping bars everywhere, then it's officially time to sell more. So it's time to sell more. Jackie needs to get her bouquet in order. Okay. Get that stuff put away so I can actually have some room to talk. Okay. Just pulling up my notes here. Okay, so this month, we are going to go ahead and we are going to talk about kind of like the highs and the lows of business, because I know that a lot of you, one more moment. So sorry, I'm just going to respond to this message real quick. I know a lot of you have this situation arise, and so I thought that this was probably a good topic to go ahead and discuss this month. I don't know why it doesn't want to sync my notes for some reason. Not sure why. Okay. So we have, and you guys may not have even have really, really have ever really thought about this when it comes to business, but normal business, and when I say normal, I'm talking like any other business outside of like our direct sales, okay? Normal businesses will do kind of dip valleys and peaks, right? Valleys and peaks, valleys and peaks. And I know for myself, I've experienced this a lot of times and over the years, and I know how frustrating it is because I felt that frustration before. And the thing is you're just eating paper just to eat paper. I don't even care. I don't even care. Do you think that bothers me? It does not. It's not bother me at all. If I pretend like it doesn't bother me, then he gives up. I struggled with this for years and years because as I was promoting, I didn't promote as quickly as some of you are and will as you're watching this. So I had a because again, you guys know my story by now, right? I didn't change my mindset for quite a while into my business. And then when I did, it was like, I gotta figure this out, right? And experiencing experiencing the highs and the lows was something that would frustrate me because I always felt, and it's just probably more or less my nature, but I would always feel like, okay, well, obviously I've done something wrong. So when I would hit a valley, obviously it was my fault somehow. I screwed something up. Either I didn't do something right, or I wasn't being present enough, or I wasn't doing this. It was obviously me, right? It wasn't anybody else. It was me. And when I would have a peak, it was almost the opposite effect. It was like, well, obviously that's not me. I mean, my team's just having a really great month. Looking back on that, that's a very skewed perception of analyzing what was really happening. And maybe it's because it's not until I became a director and really started seeing growth within my team and growth within my business, and really just kind of getting into the flow of everything. Because I'll be completely honest, I promoted to superstar consultant, and I was a superstar consultant for 2-3 years. Like, honestly, like I just got there and I plateaued. And I kind of got into this rhythm of, I wasn't finding my own rhythm, first of all. And a lot of it probably has to do because at the time I was knee deep in my career in corporate America, right? So I've retired, right? But at that time, the company that I worked for, the health system that I worked for, right, we were going through huge changes. And so I was completely stressed out with work. I was completely stressed out with home, trying to find the balance between the two, and then trying to also figure out my business along the way. And I didn't really have a whole lot of, um, guidance, so to speak, in how to really manage those times. And so, yes, I was very frustrated. And so being at that point, it was like when I would have a really great month in sales or a really great month in recruiting, not recruiting, sponsoring. Oh, I hate that word, recruiting. I want to take every dictionary and I just want to delete it out of that. Okay. So in sponsoring, right? So maybe I sponsored like 4 people in that month, maybe. And then maybe I had like really awesome sales. But on the flip side of the coin, it was like my team members weren't doing the same, right? So I was up here like, yay, let's go, guys, let's go. And everybody was like, oh, I'm kind of struggling just to get active. So I couldn't promote because that team or that group wholesale volume wasn't moving with me, right? And then on the flip side of that, I would find that the months that I was like struggling to get to my 500 even, and struggling to find anybody to sponsor that month or even have a reinstatement that month, that my team would be like soaring. I could never hit it on the right time. And again, hindsight's 2020, right? So looking back, it was like, now, first, okay, hero, that's the trash. Let's stay out of the trash. Thank you. At the time, like I said, it was very frustrating. And that's why I got frustrated in my business. And when I got frustrated in my business, what did I do? I was just like, right? Like, all right, well, it's just not working for me. Or maybe this is just not in the cards for me to promote to a director. It's just not. I was very hard on myself about this. And I remember having discussions with Tracy DeMario, my mentor, our superstar director, okay? And I remember talking to Tracy and telling her, it's like, I can't match up. I don't understand. Like, when I'm having a good month, nobody else is having a good month. When everybody else is having a good month, I'm not having a good month. So what am I doing wrong? And she taught me through those years, that A, I needed to be more consistent, and B, that again, we're a business and not every single month is going to be a peak, guys. But at the same time, not every single month is going to be a valley either. And it's normal to have those peaks and those valleys, okay? It's absolutely normal. And it's absolutely organic, right? Now, over the years, I have learned a lot more. Over the years, I've been able to analyze my business better. And that's why I hope that I'm able to pass this on to you guys and give you guys these nuggets, because it really, really would have done me worlds of greatness if I had had this knowledge at the time. What we need to remember and what we need to keep in the forefront of our mind when we're working on our business is a simple fact of, I mean, it all kind of goes back to the basics. And you guys have probably heard me talk about this before. But the things that you're doing today, you're going to see the fruits of those things in 90 days, right? So the conversations that you're having now with people maybe joining your team, or the conversations that you're having and setting up new customers, building that customer base, right? Expanding that out, you know, all of those things. Yes, sales are usually happening at that moment. But when you're sponsoring, when you're bringing somebody on, yeah, it's wonderful when we have, especially some of y'all watching this, right, who come out as rock stars from the get-go, right? You just, boom, you are on it, right? Hitting that 2,000 PRV, getting that shooting star, hitting sensational start, and building your team and growing your team and sponsoring and leading and all the things. But then when you get somebody who doesn't do that, right? We've had these conversations, right? You're like, what am I doing wrong? Okay, that's the Jacqui syndrome, right? So that's piling it back on yourself. It's obviously me. Those things that we're doing today, if we continue working at that level consistently, then we're going to see more consistent results from month to month to month. Now, again, does that mean that every month you're going to sponsor 3 new team members and every month you're going to have like $2,500 in sales and your team is going to be doing exactly like you and you're promoting and all the things, right? No, not every month. But every month you're going to continue to do all the things that you're doing that are getting you to that great month. Because it's the consistency that we really want to strive for. It's very easy to get wrapped up into promotions or numbers meaning success. Now, that's not to say that it's not amazing when we promote. That's not to say that it's not amazing when our sales are over 2,000 a month. That's not to say that when you're sponsoring 1, 2, 3, 4 people in a month, that's not absolutely fabulous, right? That is, all of that stuff is. But it's the patterns in which we work our business that are truly going to define our business. And that's what's going to get our business at the level to where we want it to be all the time. When you're struggling in sales, sometimes it is easy to take the shortcut out and to say, it's just a bad month, and literally write the month off. I'm totally guilty of this. Totally guilty of this. Done it. But instead of taking that route, flipping it and looking at it from a different perspective of saying, okay, so instead of just throwing the month away, I'm going to really focus in on still being consistent in my VIP page. I'm still going to do all the things. I'm still going to have those sponsoring conversations. I'm still going to send my mail outs this month. I'm still going to have my parties. I'm still going to be looking to book and pre-book my calendar for next month, right? I'm still going to blank. When we say consistency is key, consistency is truly like the magic piece of your business. But that's not all there is to it, right? When we feel like we're failing, what do we do as humans? Just as plain and simple, just as humans, right? It's the what have I done wrong syndrome, right? And when you start to think that way, what do you normally do, if you're anything like me, is you kind of mentally throw in the towel, right? Do any of you do that? Or any of you like that? I mentally throw in the towel when that happens. I'm the only one who can take myself out of that situation because I'm the only one who put myself in that situation. Nobody told me I was doing awful. I told myself I was doing awful. And again, you guys have heard me talk about this all the time, right? Our brains are stupid. They're so stupid because they only believe what we tell them. So if I tell my brain I'm failing, my brain says, failure. I have to condition that mindset to say, okay, yeah, it's just my sales are not there this month, but I'm not going to throw in the towel. I'm still going to do all the things, right? I'm going to do all the things. I don't care. I don't care. I'm still doing all the things. Because when I'm consistently doing all the things, right, that will help keep my business more even rather than the really highs and the really lows. Again, you're going to have months where you still have hills and valleys, but the height that you can get that hill and the distance to falling to the low is really what we can control. It really is. We're still going to have some months where we maybe aren't hitting our sales goal that we've set for ourselves. We may not hit the sponsoring goal that we've set for ourselves. We may, and then there's other months too, right, where we do hit the things that we've set up as our goals. When we look at our business more or less as a bigger picture, then we're able to understand it better. It's very easy to fall into the rabbit hole of this is how my business is working today, so this is how it's always going to be. I'm not going to get to that next level. I am not going to earn that incentive. I'm just not. Obviously, I'm not. It's a bad mindset to be in, right? So we have to pull away from that. In order to be able to keep ourselves at the level that we need to be at, we need to have that mindset always on. Now, it's easier said than done. Trust me. Again, I know. I've done it. I've done it. I've done it. I've done it. But what we have to do is really, really, really work on setting ourselves up for success. So what are some of the things that you can do that you can control to keep things from happening that way, to keep that mindset where it needs to be? So let's pivot into that. So we know what can happen. So how do we break that cycle? How do we break that mindset and stop switching that mindset and stay in the same mindset so we could have more consistency and not too high or low, right? How can we kind of ride the wave into our business rather than being way up here and way down here? How can we more ride that wave? So what we have to do is we have to focus on the things that we have control over. The things that we have control over are our actions and our IPAs, right? IPA. Remember what IPAs are? Income producing activities. I can sit here for 4 hours and make samples of all these scents, right? If I don't give them out, if I don't send them out, if I'm not passing them out, if I'm not getting them out of my house and they just sit over there in my sample box, it was a big old fat waste of 4 hours, wasn't it? Yeah, it was. Plain and simple. And it's very easy to get wrapped up into those activities because you think you have to do those things, right? Because we're conditioned to do those things. But let's be real and honest with ourselves, right? I don't know about you guys, but at the beginning of this month, end of last month, beginning of this month, right? Obviously, we started our new catalog, our fall and winter catalog. And so my main goal was to make sure that I got copies out. And to do that big mass of a mailing, right? What I did is I sent out product lists because it was more business friendly or budget friendly on my business, right? So I got my product list, got everything labeled. I did all my happy mail. I did one big mass mailing, right? Made sure that I at least stuck in samples with that mass mailing because, you know, we got to have people smelling our product, right? Scentsy sells itself, but we have to help them, right? So if we're able to get them to smell it, right, the old adage. So if they're able to smell it, then more than likely they're going to want it or want something like that, right? May not be that particular scent. Maybe, you know, it's not for everybody, right? Everybody has a different nose, but you get the point. So if I made up all that stuff, right, got everything together for those mail-outs, but I never sent them out the door, nobody was saying the new catalog. I mean, they probably would. Hopefully, let's be cheerful and let's think that everybody went to our websites and looked at everything, right, and hit our links and the whole 9 yards, right? So we have to know that the things that we're doing are not only going to help us to consistently work our business, but are also going to be things that we're actually going to produce income. And like I said, or as I was starting to say, it's very easy to get caught up in the activities that don't really produce a whole lot of income for you. So this is where we really have to analyze and sit back and look at our business from in that big picture from a distance and say, what are the things that help me, or what are the things that really stand out with my customers? What do they love? What are you eating? Open. I don't even know what that was, but it's plastic. Like, honestly, he's like a toddler. Okay. Just chill for a minute, okay? Chill out, dude. And let me give another example here. Like, let's say a newsletter. Maybe you spend a whole lot of time putting together like this customized newsletter for your customers, and you send it out. and you put links in that, right? But you notice that either, and maybe you use like MailChimp or whatever, right? So you can track things. You want things to be measurable so you know what is actually working and what is not working, okay? So the programs like MailChimp, that's the one that I personally use is MailChimp. There's Mad Mimi, there's Constant Contact. I don't know. There's a handful of different newsletters, subscriber services out there. But MailChimp is free. I absolutely love it, right? So I can import all of my contacts from an Excel sheet or export them as an Excel sheet out of my workstation. I can import them into MailChimp, right? So I have all my contacts from my customer base, and I can create a newsletter and I can send that out to all of those people, right? The really cool thing with these newsletter services or mail subscription services is that it actually gives you the ability to track what is being opened, what's being clicked on, and what is not, okay? So those are ways that we can analyze something and see if it's working. And I will tell you that when I spend a whole chunk of time working on this, what I believe to be a really great customer newsletter, and then I go back and I actually look at the data from how many clicks actually, were taken, right? How many people actually, it will tell you how many people actually opened the email, how many people actually clicked into one of the links. Maybe I put the link in there to the new catalog, right? And it will give me all of those stats. And I will tell you that it's really not a high percentage for my customer base. Now, a couple of things I can take away from that, right? I can take away the fact of, okay, a couple people are looking at it, or, a handful are looking at it, right? But the bigger picture of this is that it's really not being looked at in the bigger picture. So what do I do with that information, right? Sometimes you have to pivot. And that's why I think being able to track things so you can analyze them is really going to be helpful in your business. Because that tells me that I shouldn't spend a whole chunk of time working on a newsletter that maybe only 35% of the people I'm going to send it to are actually going to open it. That's not effective, right? That's not really producing a whole lot for me when I look at the big picture. So then I go back, right? What are some other things that I can control and that I can track and that I can look at, right? So what can I do? Okay, first of all, I can look to see who's opening the Scentsy newsletter that Scentsy sends out for me, right? When you have your website, Scentsy every single month sends out that newsletter for you, and we can personalize that newsletter, right? So what I was able to look at, and Scentsy gives us that data too. When that newsletter goes out, you can actually go to the communication tab in your workstation, and you can look to see, again, it's going to give you the same statistics, right? It's going to tell you how many people opened the email, how many people maybe clicked on a link that said shop now or whatever in the actual newsletter. This is our warmer of the month, right? And click. And you can really see those statistics. So then I can take that info, and then my customized one that I spent a whole chunk of time working on, and the one with Scentsy that I really only spent like 15 minutes, like personalizing, right? And then it went out on its own. I didn't even have to think about it or send it. More people were looking at the Scentsy one and opening the Scentsy one rather than the one that I spent a whole bunch of time on that I thought looked beautiful. I really think it was beautiful, right? But the point being is, should I put my time towards something different rather than that chunk of time to the newsletter, when I can set the Scentsy one and just customize that, personalize that a little bit better, and get either a little bit more or about the same rate of success? Okay, so now I've opened up a whole chunk of time that I would have been spending on that newsletter. So next month I'll know, okay, I don't need to do that. I can do something else in place of that. Now, another thing that you can look at is your VIP group. I personally, and I was chatting with Pam today, I've decided that what I'm going to do is I'm going to revamp my entire VIP group. And I'm going to explain to you why here and share with you why here in just a moment. But another thing that I know I have control over, or that I can really look at, is I can really look to see engagement in my VIP group. Because you can see in a group, right, who's looking at it, who's viewing it, how many people are clicking it, right, if it's a clickable thing. You can, again, things that I can strategically look at and look at that data and say, this is working or it's not working. And then, of course, you have just the regular engagement in the page itself, right, in the group. So you can actually see, are there people commenting back? Do more people comment on this post rather than that post, right? So this and that, right? So those are tangible things that I can look at and really look at the big picture and say, here's the data to support why I should maybe, instead of spending more time on a whole personalized newsletter when Scentsy's sending one out for me and I can get the same kind of engagement that way, maybe I can take that chunk of time and actually put it towards scheduling more posts to my VIP page, right? Because I can look at posts and say, hey, this post does better than that one, this one does better than that one, so on and so forth. Things that I can control. And as a business owner, we really have to focus on the things that we can control in our business because, again, at the end of the day, are we wasting time doing activities that we think might be absolutely amazing, or they work absolutely amazing for that person on YouTube or that team member over there, but for you, they just don't seem to be clicking with your customer base? And that's okay, right? Why? Because your business is different than my business. Mine is different from hers. Hers is different from his, right? Everybody's business looks different. And that is why we love our business. So we have to remember the simple fact that we are the boss. If you are looking to me, waiting for me as your director, as your upline to say, this is what you should be working on this week. You should probably work on doing that next week. I am not going to do that for you. Why? Because I am not your boss. I'm not your boss. I'm a coach. I'm a mentor. I'm an encourager. I'm a motivator. I'm these things to you. I am not your boss. And the fact of the matter is that I can tell you all day long what works for me in my business. And you can maybe go out and duplicate exactly to the T, exactly the same things that I'm doing that may not work for yours. Why? Because your customer base is different than mine. Mine is different than her. Everybody's is different. And this is why we have to be looking at the things that we can control every single month. We have to be analyzing our own businesses, and that's just something that we have to find time for. We have to make time for. Let me rephrase that. We have to make the time to do that because, and again, if you do it this month and you're like, oh yeah, I didn't really see any change. Why? Because the things that we're doing right now, we won't see those ideas or work actually fruit until 90 days from now, statistically speaking. Okay. So we have to always be looking at the things that we can control. We have to be looking at things we can control. Let me say it for the people in the back. And again, it is not my job to tell you how to do it. You are going to have to sit down and you're going to have to look at your business. And you're going to have to really just make the time to look. What are the things that are working for me? And like I said, I have a lot of engagement in my group, right? So I need to see how I can increase that engagement. How can I leverage that engagement, right? So some of the ways that I can do that are not only by looking at the page itself, but using other trackable means, right? When I say trackable, again, things that I can pull data from and look at, right? That are actual tangible proof that either it's working or it's not working. So Bitly, you guys remember we talked about Bitly last week or the week before on the team, one of the Tuesday trainings, okay? Bitly, BITLY.com. It's a link shortener. So you can take any long link, you can put it in there, you can create a custom one, it will shorten it up. And then what you can do is you can go back into Bitly, and it's an app, or you can look at it on the computer on the full website. But you can go in there and you can actually see how many times someone clicked on that link. So if that's a link that you're putting in your VIP page or on your business page or in your Instagram bio, in your link tree or your milkshake or whatever is in your Instagram profile, right? You can go back and see how many times was that clicked. How many people actually clicked on that and went to that? Bitly will tell you that information. And then you can learn from that and know, hey, that's really working. Or that post worked really well because it got people to click on it. So how can I replicate that post? Another thing that I really want you guys to focus on is there is no substitute for yourself. And when you're looking at, you know, one of the things when it comes to social media and really leveraging your business on social media, and it's really easy to do, again, is looking at other people and saying, oh my gosh, that like had tons of engagement when they did that. Oh my goodness, that went amazingly well. Look at all the people who were commenting, or look at all the people who were engaging, whatever, right? And then you duplicate the exact same thing. Maybe you go in, you copy and paste word for word, copy it. And then you go and get the same picture that they used and put the same picture up. And then you paste the same wording on. And then you're like, where is everybody? Here's the thing. There is no substitute for you. So you have to be yourself in your business. Like no trust factor. They know you. And if it's something that doesn't sound like you, then they're going to know that it's not something from you. Either the wording is different, or the way that they talk is different, or the pictures look completely different than any other pictures that you ever show, right? Everything in the above. This is why it is so important to be authentically yourself in your business, because again, people see you and they recognize you as your brand. You are their Scentsy consultant. Not her, not him, not them, not whoever. You. And so you have to stay consistent to that. Because when you start copying and pasting, trust me, people notice. And they're like, oh, they're totally phoning it in now. And trust me, that engagement's going to go down. It may work 1 or 2 times for you and be absolutely wonderful. But if you're consistently doing that, trust me, your engagement is going to drop off, because your people are either A, going to see it on somebody else's, because trust me, I don't care what you think, I guarantee you they know other people who sell Scentsy. And if they're seeing the same post and the same exact pictures over and over and over and over and over again, what happens, right? They go blind to it and they do not see it anymore. So when you go to post it and you're posting the exact same picture and the exact same wording, they're blind. They do not see it. They will look right past it. So you have to find a way to connect with your customer base that is your style, okay? This is important. This is important. And that also contributes to the wave. Again. So look back. Here's my homework for you guys for this week, okay? Or for this leadership call. I want you guys to look back. And this is going to take a little bit, okay? But this is something that you really, truly have to do. You need to go into your workstation, go to the reporting tab. You're going to actually look at your bar report, okay? You can go into the reporting tab, and you're going to look at the bar report. Let me see if I can go ahead and pull this up, and I will show you very quickly so you guys know exactly where you need to go to look for your bar report. And bar report, bar stands for Business Analysis Review, I think. And this is something that was for quite a long time only available to directors and above. So if you haven't seen this in your workstation, you haven't looked at this before, this is a tool that is really going to help you leverage your business. And it's going to help you look, again, to see that data, to see the analysis of when I had that really great month, what was I doing? Right? What were the activities you were doing, or what were the actions you were taking that you can go back and you can say, okay, I'm not going to repeat that word for word, but how can I take the same type of post or the same type of actions that I was doing that month and replicate it this month and next month and the month after? You're going to see that there are ways that you can really, really leverage a lot of information. And we are truly, truly blessed in the fact that Scentsy gives us the ability to look at these things because, you know, obviously I don't know how other direct sales businesses go, but I can tell you that for all of my accounting years, that yeah, when I mean a good portion of my job was doing analysis, okay, and really looking at those things. So, all right, let me go ahead and share my screen. So I've got this pulled up here. Let's go here. And I want to make sure that you guys know what you're looking for, okay? All right, this should, actually, let me do it this way, just in case a pop-up window opens. Okay. All right. Here it goes. Okay, so let me minimize that. Okay, so we've gone to the reporting tab on our workstation, okay? So workstation reporting. Again, you can do this from your phone as well. If you want to do it mobile, that's fine. The reporting tab. You're going to come down here to sales reports. And you're going to click on sales reports. This is also where, if you are not aware, you can actually look to see who signed up for the Nightmare Before Christmas. Remember they put that little thing on our websites? Remember that? I hope. Okay, please tell me you do. I hope. And you can see who actually signed up or who is interested in information regarding the Nightmare Before Christmas. So sorry, this is going really slow. Okay. So business analysis report. So that is your bar report. Everybody has this now. Like I said, this was something that was only available to directors and above. But they have made it available for all consultants. So hoping this isn't Okay, good. I just want to make sure it wasn't going to put up any information that is somebody else's information. Okay, so let's look back and let's see, you know, this will go back as far as you want it to go back, or it goes back the last 3 years, maybe longer. I can't remember. I don't really do analysis that far out. So, let's pull this up again. Sorry. It's just spinning. Okay, so you're going to go to your bar report, more or less, okay? You're going to go there. You're going to click on it. What you're going to be able to do is you're going to, hopefully you were able to see that quick version there. You're going to be able to actually see your sales, your PRV, and your group over month, year over year, if you've been doing Scentsy longer than 1 year, right? So you can see how many active frontline you had. You can see your PRV. You can see your GWV, okay? You can see how many people were in your group. You can see all of the things, okay? All of the things. Debating on whether or not I should share this, because I know it's going to go on YouTube. I'm going to go ahead and share it. I'm going to go ahead and share it with you. Okay. Because I want you to see the growth. This is why I'm sharing this. Okay? Okay. Does it tell me? Yes. Okay. So on my bar report, in January of 2017, I was a superstar consultant. Superstar consultant. My sales for that month were $522. I had a team of 33, and I had 6 active frontline. So I had 6 frontline who were active. Active is 200 or more in PRV, right? I didn't have any new recruits that month. It says new recruits, but you know, I hate the word recruit. Okay, so I didn't sponsor anybody that month, but please remember too that this also does not show reinstatements. I could go back in my planner and pull my planner from 2017 and see, because I do keep track of my own reinstatements, but on reporting, for reporting purposes, it does not show on there. So just FYI, if you're like, wait a minute. Okay, because I do actually have a lot of reinstatements. So, but I didn't have any that month. I had 1 person promote to certified on my team, and my commission for January of 2017 was $205. Okay? A lot of people don't talk about money in Scentsy. I'm sharing it because I want you guys to see that if you continue to work your business consistently, what can happen. Okay? Okay. All right. So I made $205 January of 2017 as a superstar consultant. I was not paid a title. Not paid a title. Okay. And that's because my group wholesale volume wasn't high enough. I wasn't getting paid a ton. So I wasn't being consistent. I wasn't doing the things that I needed to do in my business to be paid at title. Every single month, we've talked about this, every single month, your personal goal minimum should be paid at title. I don't care what title you are. I don't care if you're a lead, star, superstar, director, star director, superstar director. Your initial goal is to be paid a title, because otherwise what's happening? You're leaving money on the table, right? I left a whole bunch of money on the table that month. Not a whole bunch, because I didn't do a whole bunch and my team wasn't doing a whole bunch at that time, okay? Hello, consistency, okay? But that's real talk, okay? Now, $200, that pays a bill or a couple bills, right? Maybe the water bill and the gas bill and maybe the electric bill, or put, you know, groceries and or whatever, right? That's an extra $200 a month, right? Hello. For a side gig, which that's what it was for me in 2017, that's not bad. Not, I wasn't mad at that. I was not mad at that at all. But I learned I can do better. I can do better. In 2018, January of 2018, I was still superstar consultant. Remember, I plateaued. I was a superstar consultant. Oops, I clicked off right there. 1 second. I was a superstar consultant in January of 2018. Okay. My PRV was 505. I had a group of, or a team of 26. I had 10 active frontline. I did not sponsor any new team members that month. I was not paid at title. Again, not paid at title. My commission for the month was $280. A little bit of growth, right? From January 2017 to January 2018. I had less team, but I had more active frontline. I had about the same in PRV, but my commission was about $75 more. Why? Well, hello, right? When you're getting more active frontline, this is why getting paid a title is better, right? Okay. Let's fast forward. Okay, so I went from 205 to 280. And in January of 2019, I was a director. I was a director. I promoted. Okay, I was a director. I was not paid a title. My PRV was $1,088. Better, right? I had a team of 53. I had 12 active frontline. I sponsored 2 new consultants that month. And my commission for that month was $616. That's a car payment, that's some bills, that's groceries, that's a whole lot more, right? Doing better. 205, 280, 616. Still not paid a title though. Was not paid a title that month. So what does that mean? I left money on the table. Money sitting on the table. Okay. January of 2020. 7-8 months ago, right? Okay. In January of 2020, sorry. I was a director. My PRV, my sales were $895. Nothing to write home about. But still not bad. Okay. Not my goal though. That's what I mean by nothing to write home about. Okay. My goal is much higher than that. I had a team of 125 people. I doubled my team in that year. Doubled my team. I went from January 2019 from 53 to 125 in 1 year. I had 22 active frontline. 22. I did not sponsor any new recruits that month. And I was paid at title. My commission in January of 2020 was $1,265. Paid at title makes a difference, right? The number of active frontline makes a difference, right? Because, I mean, I wasn't really getting paid. I mean, I still left money on the table, right? Because for one, I didn't get 2,000 in sales, right? So that's leaving an extra 5% that I could have gotten paid on, right? Because please tell me, nod your head yes, that you understand that when you get 2,000 in sales, you also get an extra 5% in commission. Okay, I know Lisa knows this because she's doing it consistently. Okay, now, but my PRV was only $895, but I had 22 active frontline and I was paid at title, which means my paycheck reflected that, and it was $1,265. I'm sharing this again. I'm sharing this with you because I want you to see that when you are consistent, when you are looking at your stats, when you are looking at the data, when you are looking to see how can I do better than I did last month? How can I do better than I did last year at this time? How can I do better? What are the things that are making me money? What are the things that I need to focus on? What are the actions I need to be taking? Because if you put all of that together, then trust me, your paycheck is going to reflect that. Now, going from $200 to $1,200 in a month, that paycheck really started to make a difference for me and my family, right? It did. I can tell you it did. I'm not telling you this for any other reason. I'm not sharing this with you for any other reason other than to show you that if you are consistently working on your business, if you're consistently working on the things that really produce income for you, meaning training with your team, right? Because that's where the active frontline comes into play. Okay, your frontline needs to be getting active because that's when you are going to be able to be paid at title, whatever your title is. Okay, and I don't want you to think either that because you're a lead or a star or whatever, that your ability to make money is only, this high, right? Like I can't make any more than this. So it's probably about the much. No, I can tell you, I know lead consultants who have made more than $1,200 in a month, right? I can tell you that there are directors who are being able to be paid at like $7,000 a month, right? Right. Because they are focusing on getting paid at title. They are focusing on getting their frontline active. They are focusing on income producing activities. They are focusing on sponsoring. They are focusing on how they can do sales better, how they can increase customer engagement, how can they increase their customers coming back, right? Customer care, follow up, okay? All of those things go in, and those are the things that are going to get you to where you need to be. So when you're riding the wave, I want you to know that the wave is only a moment in time. What you need to focus on is the big picture. Are you truly doing the things that are going to bring you income? Are you worried about the wording in your posts? Or are you focusing on your team members to help them to do the things and the goals that they want to see for themselves? Because if you are, then investing in your team is going to give you the ability to A, get you those active frontline, to B, grow your team wide, right? We want a wide, strong foundation of frontline, okay? I am working towards the goal of 100 frontline. I am at 71 today. I have 71 frontline. I want to get to 100 frontline. Now, my team, my group, it's like up there in 200s, right? But my frontline, those are the people who I have personally sponsored. Those are the people that I work to get active every single month. And those are the people that I work with to help them, whatever their goal is for their business, right? Do they want to promote? Do they want to make more money? All the things. That's where I'm pouring my time into, because that is an income producing activity. This is a full-time business for me. If this is just a hobby for you, then none of this needs to apply. But when you're ready to turn it into a business, these are the things that you need to be doing. All right, guys, that's what I've got for you this leadership call. Please see the income disclosure, because I'm going to be putting this on YouTube. So hello, results not typical. See the income disclosure below, please and thank you. And thank you all for listening. I hope some of this has helped you, has kind of opened your eyes a little bit more, and maybe hopefully made things connect a little bit better when we talk about why we're doing the things that we're doing every single month in our business. So there you go. I will see you guys all next time.